Bradley and fellow classmates, Mattman here. I wanted to go ahead and respond regarding this week's readings on social justice and the counselor. I have to admit that I did approach this a little bit different this week because it was a little bit challenging to read and to hear about some of the injustices. And when you hear about this stuff in the news, but to see how it relates to the profession of counseling and what we can do to advocate for those who are disadvantaged was a little bit challenging because it invoked so many different emotions. But I think that I found it interesting that Crether et al. Noted that judgments of fairness and justice are tied to general perceptions about the nature of society based in cultural context of the person. So, a lot of times we define what is right based on, or we stop at what is right based on what we feel and what our definition of what is right. But what we feel is right may not be right for the next person. And so I question whether or not, how effective we can be to advocate on a certain level, because especially if we approach it with the social biases, and if whether or not we've had an experience with social injustice ourselves. So where I settled was to help myself with self-care. First of all, is to keep myself mentally strengthened by reading my word, maybe exercising, staying connected to my family, these things that I draw strength from. And then with regards to my golden rule for counseling, it's simply this: love God, love people by helping one person at a time. And I come from the mindset of, I may not understand or agree with a person's lifestyle or the way the person is living, but my love for God and my love for people can overshadow that, or can help me in that, so that I don't judge people because of their differences, but my love for them is more powerful than that. So I don't need to understand or agree with where they're coming from. I just need to love them. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 9, chapter 9, verses 22 through 23, I am all things to all men, and I can add to that to all women as well. Paul recognized the differences among his community and pledged to be all things to all members of his community and beyond. I think to really affect change, we have to be willing to bridge the gap of societal differences and understand that we are all people. As a result, we all have a responsibility to each other. So, loving God, love people by helping one person at a time. I could say more on this topic. Again, it was very interesting to read the material, but I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I was able to, and it really did help me and aid in self-reflection on how I can advocate for different situations and different disadvantaged individuals of the community. So, thank you.